In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a deadlift from start to finish, try and give you as many coaching cues as possible and some simple mistakes to avoid along the way. First thing I want to talk about is the footwear. If you have spongy soled shoes or something that's quite unstable, take them off your feet immediately. You're just wasting your time. Make sure you've got some flat shoes to do your deadlifts in, and if you don't have flat shoes yet, then do it barefoot or in your socks. Whenever you're performing a deadlift, make sure you're using a 7-foot 20 kg barbell. Don't be using anything smaller or anything lighter. You also want to make sure that you're using bumper plates. These are the plates that might be colored in your gym, or they might all be the same color, but they all will be the same size. So if it's 5 kg, 10, 15, 20, they'll all be the same size, and they're going to raise the barbell to the correct height. If you have a preset bar or you're using the weights that are all different shapes, that's going to make this exercise extremely difficult and potentially quite dangerous. Get yourself a normal barbell and get yourself some bumper plates and put them on the sides. First thing you want to do when you approach the bar is figure out your stance. You want your feet shoulder width apart. Now everyone's slightly different and you might have to play around with this, but for the most part, keep your feet shoulder width apart and keep your toes pointing forward. Once you're in this position, you want to make sure that the barbell is 1 to 2 inches away from your shins. And to do this, you want to line the bar up with the middle part of your foot. Once the bar is in the mid part of your foot, that should mean that the bar is about 1 to 2 inches away from your shin. From this position here, I just want you to bend right over and place your arms down the side of your legs and grab onto the bar. You'll notice that I haven't squatted down into position. This is something that you do not want to do. You do not want to squat your deadlift. You want to deadlift your deadlift. So you want to keep the hips high and do not think about sinking down into a deadlift like you would a squat. Once again, we're just going to bend over, placing our hands on the barbell and making sure that our arms are down the side of our legs. You'll notice from this position that I'm now staring at the floor. That's completely fine and my hips are rather high. What you're going to do now is bend your knees and bring your shins towards the bar. Once they're touching the bar, you're almost set and ready to go, but you want to remember that during this whole process, do not move the barbell at all. When you bring your shins towards the bar, they should tuck in the crevice of your elbow on each side of your arms. Once you're in this position here, I don't want you looking at the floor and I don't want you arching your neck up like this because it's not going to give you a nice neutral spine. I want you to pick somewhere in the middle, whether it's a bottom part of the wall or halfway up the wall, and that's where you're going to keep your head. When you do that, it's going to keep a nice flat and neutral spine. Once you've got the head position sorted, what I want you to do is push your chest through slightly, and I want you to make the bar feel heavy in your hands. I don't want you to pull the bar up using your hands. I just want you to pull the slack out of the bar slightly so that the bar is heavy in your hands. Once the bar feels heavy in your hands, I want you to brace your core. I want you to take a massive breath into your chest, push it down into your stomach. It should feel like you're taking a shit, and that's how you know your core is braced. Once your core is braced and you've pulled the slack out of the bar, you're then going to push your feet into the floor as hard as you possibly can. This bar should not move because you've pulled it with your arms. Your arms are only there to hook the bar. This bar should only move because of the force you've applied by pushing your feet into the ground. As you're pushing your feet into the ground, you want to drag the bar up your legs all the way to the top. The bar should never really leave contact with your legs. If you find that the bar is swinging out in front of you, then you're going to be pulling it with your lower back, and that's going to get quite sore very soon. When you go back down, you don't want to squat and push your knees out the front. You just want to soften the knees and push the bum to the back of the room. Let the bar slide down the front of your legs, and then dependent if your gym allows you, you can just drop the bar straight back down to the floor. After each rep, bring the bar back down, reset, brace, and push through the floor again. What you want to avoid is doing this. You're deadlifting, you're coming it back down, and you're using the bounce off the floor to go again. You want to bring the bar back down to the floor, readjust your grip, your feet, brace your core again, drive your feet into the floor, and back up to the top. Now remember, your arms are hooks. They aren't there to pull the bar. You will know that you're pulling the bar off the floor if you start to get a bit of pain in your upper or your lower back. And if you notice when I go to pull the bar here, my hips will shoot up early and it will turn itself into a 2-part movement rather than a smooth, when you push through the floor, 1-part movement. Your hips and the bar should rise at the same time. Your hips shouldn't shoot up first. That should be absolutely everything you need to perform the deadlift the safest and the best way possible. This is an exercise that has injured so many people in the past, and it's because they simply don't treat it with the respect it deserves. Quality over quantity. The deadlift is a really safe exercise when done properly, just like anything in the gym. So hopefully after watching this video, you'll be doing your deadlifts absolutely perfect.